my crafty friends, it's me, Lisa, the DIY Diva. Welcome back to a new video. Can you see my shirt? So, funny story, I love SB mowing. I don't only make videos for YouTube, but I actually watch a lot of videos on YouTube too. And I've been watching SB mowing for a while now, and I don't know about you, but that guy motivates me so much to go outside and start doing things. And because we're getting closer to some better weather, I thought it would be fun to make a few Dollar Tree DIYs that are meant to be used outside. And yes, all of these projects, everything that I got to make them is from Dollar Tree. And before I get into the video, if you could do me a huge favor, click that subscribe button. And if you click the bell notification, you can also find out when I have new videos coming out. But if you could take a moment, hit the subscribe button. Please, I would be so grateful if you did. I know it's the beginning of the video, but hey, I gotta ask, right? Let's go make some outdoor DIYs using Dollar Tree supplies. Hey, I made a rhyme. So my first project is super easy. So I found these signs at the Dollar Tree. The garden is my happy place. And I totally love this. This was so pretty. And actually, this is a really big sign. So I bought 2 of them. And I started by removing the hanger that was on each of the signs. And then I took some B7000 glue and I put it on the back of one of the signs. I'm going to be using this outside, which is why I'm using the B7000 glue. This will definitely give a permanent hold to the signs, and it will be able to withstand the weather. So once I had the glue in place, then I put the second garden sign on top of the first one. And I made sure that they were lined up, and then I used some Dollar Tree clamps to hold everything together while the glue was setting up. These Dollar Tree clamps are perfect for a project like this. They work really well to keep the project in place while the glue is drying and becoming secure. And I did let this dry overnight before moving on to the next step. Now I also found this plant pot chain at Dollar Tree, and this is what I'm going to be using to be able to hang up my sign. So I wasn't quite sure if this was going to work. So first I removed one of the extra chains because there were 3 chains on this pot holder. It also had these clips on the bottom, and I thought about using those for a brief minute, but then I decided I didn't want to hang my sign up that way. So I'm going to be saving those for another project. So I opened up one of the chain connections using tools that I have in my craft room already. And I secured 1 chain to each side of my garden sign. And once I had both of those chains on, I decided I wanted to separate this. I don't want it to be joined together on the top. So I counted up on each of those rings of how long I wanted them to be so I can hang it up in my garden. And I do like the chains just being hung separately versus using the hook. But if you are going to be doing something like this and the hook works better for you, it'll probably be a little bit easier. And I just double counted each side to make sure that they were going to be equal when I was hanging up my sign. And because I want to have this out in a flower bed, I actually found this metal flagpole at Dollar Tree for $1.25 as well. They do have the smaller ones, but this is the larger one. The sign is pretty heavy, so I want to reinforce the side that's going to be going into the ground. And I found this 2-pack of wooden dowels at Dollar Tree, and I used some B7000 to secure it to the pole. It actually worked out really well because I had 2 packages of these dowels, and when I put them onto the pole, they fit perfectly. I did go ahead and use my glue gun for that instant stick, and the hot glue will really help to secure the dowels to the pole while the B7000 is drying. And I did use the second package of the dowels that I had and also used hot glue and the B7000 adhesive to really give this pole some extra strength. Now this plant soft tie, I did not get this at Dollar Tree, but I will leave a link in the description box in case you wanted to get some of this for yourself. This stuff is so much fun for crafts as well as for gardening. So I just took the soft tie material and I wrapped it around the dowels and the pole. Again, I'm doing this to add more strength to the pole end, which will be going into the ground. I continued to wrap the soft tie material all the way down to the bottom where the dowels ended. Next, I came back with some black paint, and this paint is able to withstand being outside, so interior, exterior paint. And I painted everything that I had added to the pole. So all 4 of the dowels, as well as that soft tie material, got a thick coat of the black paint, so it will look like it's all one piece and like it was meant to be this way. And one thing that I do wish that I did was make this so that it was stronger at the bottom. You can see how thin the metal is from this pole, and it's actually very brittle. So if I were going to be doing this again, or if I was recommending for someone to make something like this, what I would do is probably attach something to the bottom of the pole so that it will keep it more secure once it's in the ground. And you'll understand why in just a moment. Now, even though I want spring to be here, it is not quite spring where I live, but I decided I wanted to get a jump start on my outdoor decorating, and why not start with raking up some of the leaves? And then I got to work of where I'm going to be putting my garden sign. And unfortunately, the ground was actually still frozen while I was getting ready to put my sign in. I was able to tuck it in behind the pot, and then I used a landscaping brick on top of it to help keep it in place. Next, I took my garden sign and I put it onto the flagpole. And the chains were a little bit longer than I wanted them to be, so I counted down to keep them equal lengths. And then I let the excess chain just kind of dangle behind the sign. I also had this Dollar Tree solar light that I put on the other end. And even though there's no flowers, I decided to fill my tipped over planter with some artificial flowers that I got on Amazon. And these are actually really pretty. I wish I could grow flowers like this, but I do not have a green thumb when it comes to gardening. But I thought this would look really nice, and it definitely gets me excited for springtime. Aren't these pretty flowers? And I love this sign. I love how this turned out. This is so pretty, and it was so easy to make. And I was able to make the sign for less than $10. And honestly, I love this sign, and I think it's a wonderful addition to my flower garden. Now, I found these trash cans at Dollar Tree, and they are in the plus section. These are wonderful, and they will make great planters. And I'm going to be using this hammered black high gloss spray paint from Behr. So I got it at Home Depot, and it will give a hammered metal finish to the plastic waste cans. So I started by painting the inside of the trash can. By painting the inside of the trash can, that is going to give it a darker base on the inside of the can, so that when I start painting on the outside of the can, you won't be able to see that lighter color showing through. And I did forget to show it, but I drilled 3 holes in the bottom of each of these trash cans because I want to make sure that water will be able to drain once I do put some real plants in here for the summer. And once I had a coat of paint on the inside of the trash can, then I moved to the outside of the trash can. I did this on both trash cans. And even though I did have a few runs when I was doing my spray painting, they don't show because of the hammered finish that the spray paint creates. This is a really nice spray paint, and it's affordable when you consider how expensive spray paint has gotten. Now, I have done multiple videos showing you how to make trash can planters. They are so easy to do, but it's really hard to find the tall plastic trash cans. These are going to work just fine, and they were super affordable at $5 each. I know I wouldn't be able to find tall planters like this to go on my front porch for less than probably $40. So for me, this is a really good option. And next I have these fake ferns, and some of them I got on Amazon and some of them I got from Goodwill. The ones I got from Amazon are actually very, very pretty. So I put a few rocks into the bottom of the trash can planters, and then I put a box that I had cut just the center out of it so I could put the ferns into the box, and it will help keep it in place and hopefully not blow away. I put one of the Amazon ferns in each of the planters, and then I added one old fern to the other side. So it gives it a really nice full appearance. And honestly, I really like these. I think they are super cute, and they were super easy to make. I was able to do this in just a couple of hours. And yes, they are trash cans, but I think they look really nice. This is such an easy way to dress up your front porch and not have to spend a lot of money to make it look nice. Now, I was lucky enough to get a set of the stackable Easter eggs from Dollar Tree. They were $5, and I actually went to Dollar Tree today and they still had them. So this is a really fun project, and it's so easy. What I did was I just took a Sharpie marker and I made a pattern on each of the individual eggs. This was really easy to do because you can see there are patterns that are already on the eggs. So I wanted to make this look kind of like Mackenzie Child. I think it's Mackenzie Child and not Childs. I don't know, but I wanted to make it look something like that. I've seen people do this and it looks so pretty, but I wanted to be able to use Sharpie marker because if you paint this type of plastic, the paint will actually flake off. So Sharpie marker or acrylic markers work really well for this type of a project. So I just made different designs on each of the eggs and then literally just colored. And it was a lot of fun to color in the patterns. Like this one is the checkerboard pattern. It was a lot of fun to come up with different patterns for each of the eggs. It did take a little bit of time, but what I did was literally have the eggs sitting down in my living room. And when my husband and I would sit down for a bit to watch TV, I just picked up a Sharpie marker and I colored on each of the Easter eggs. And I did a different pattern on each of the eggs. And if you're going to be doing this, one thing that you can do to make the lines look cleaner is to use a gold Sharpie around the black Sharpie that you've already done. And that's what I did. I just took a gold Sharpie marker and literally just traced right alongside of the black. You have to be super careful though with the black and the gold Sharpie marker because again, the plastic eggs, they're not very forgiving when it comes to different colors being put on. So I just took my time and added a little bit of gold on all sides of the black Sharpie that I had done on each egg. By adding the gold, it makes it look a little more perfect, like you have perfect lines. Now, if you are going to do a project like this, make sure that you seal it once you are all done. Otherwise, the Sharpie marker, it will scratch off. So I took some high gloss Mod Podge and I painted that on using a foam brush that I got at Dollar Tree. I would not recommend using a spray acrylic because that will actually cause the Sharpie to run. And I wanted to have a base for the eggs. So I took a Dollar Tree acrylic bowl and one of their cake plates. I secured them together with some B7000 and then I used some high gloss black spray paint to make a base for my eggs. And while that was drying, I came back inside and I wanted to add something extra to the eggs, so I used some gold cordage and I secured it where the eggs joined together. So there was 2 rows of the gold cordage in between the eggs. And here is the finished project. I really like how this looks. I think it's adorable. I'm not going to be using mine outside. I will be keeping mine inside, but because I did put the Mod Podge sealer on it, I could use it outside if I wanted to. But I think it looks pretty sitting in my living room, and I think I'm going to keep it here. No, it doesn't look exactly like Mackenzie Child's, but I was able to make this for probably around $15 versus the Mackenzie Child eggs that are stacked like this. They're almost $1,000. So I'll take my Dollar Tree version. I think it looks great, and I'm really happy that I finally did this project. So what did you think of those? Those are pretty easy, right? Very easy, pretty fast to do, with the exception of the stacking eggs from Dollar Tree. That did take a little bit of time, but I just sat down on my couch in the evening and used my Sharpie for a little bit to make the pattern on each of the eggs. And I have to say, it was actually pretty enjoyable and pretty relaxing just to color. I love coloring almost as much as I love getting outside and playing in my yard. So now I have my official SB Mowing t-shirt. Can you see that from the back? Or is my hair in the way? Now I'm all geared up and ready to go outside and play in the yard. Well, maybe when it warms up a little bit. 28 degrees is a little bit cold to be doing yard work, in my opinion. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to stop by and watch this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I've inspired you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.